It's amazing how our bodies have these subtle ways of talking to us, right? Like as we get older, sometimes it's a little ache here, or maybe our energy just isn't what it used to be. But have you ever thought about like a really persistent itch? One that just won't quit.
It's easy to just kind of brush it off, right? Like, oh, it's just dry skin or something.
Exactly. But what if, especially as we hit our 60s and beyond, that itch is actually trying to tell us something more, something deeper about what's going on inside?
It's fascinating because what seems like a minor annoyance on the surface could be a signal from our body that things are changing, maybe even some imbalances starting to creep in. And as we age, those systems, well, they can get a little more sensitive.
Absolutely. And that's what we're diving into today. We're going to explore 4 specific spots on the body where if you're over 60 and you're feeling a persistent itch, it might be a heads up, like a little red flag that something else might be going on that could affect how long and how well we live. And we're basing this on real observations from doctors and researchers, not just speculation.
The cool thing is, each of these itchy spots can tell us a different story. Like where the itch is can actually give us clues about our blood flow, how our organs are doing, whether our nerves are firing right, even if we're getting the nutrients we need.
It's like our bodies are sending us quoted messages and we just need to learn how to crack the code. So stick with us till the end of this deep dive because that last point, well, let's just say it's the most important one for your health. And hey, if you're digging this kind of info, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes. Ready to jump in? Let's start with itchy lower leg.
Ah, yes, the lower legs. It's a common one. And most people, they just assume it's dry skin, which can definitely happen as we age.
Right, the first instinct is to grab the lotion. But what if that itch just won't go away, even with moisturizer? And there's no rash, no obvious reason for it.
That's when we have to start thinking about other possibilities. One of them being the circulation. Specifically, something called peripheral artery disease, or PAD.
PAD, tell us more about that.
Basically, it's when the arteries, the ones that carry blood to your legs and feet, they start to narrow. And when that happens, well, the blood flow gets restricted.
And how does that connect to itchy skin?
Well, think about it. Healthy skin, it needs a good supply of oxygen and all those good nutrients that the blood delivers, right?
Mm.
But if the blood flow is sluggish, the skin can get dry, fragile, and, yeah, itchy.
I see. So it's not just about age or dry air.
Right. To make this clearer, imagine 2 people, both in their early 70s. Let's say there's Harold, who's pretty active. He takes walks every day, pays attention to his body, and he hasn't really noticed any major itching. Then there's Eleanor. She's become less mobile over the years, spends a lot of time sitting, and she's got this constant itch on her lower legs, especially at night. She slathers in the lotion, but it only helps for a little while.
Okay, so we've got Harold, who's moving and grooving, and Eleanor, who's, well, not so much. What's the takeaway there?
Well, Harold's activity probably helps keep his circulation going strong, while Eleanor's lack of movement could be contributing to poor blood flow, and hence the itchy legs. And that lotion, it's just treating the symptom, not the root cause.
And this whole poor circulation thing, it's not just about itchy legs, is it? What are the bigger health risks?
You hit the nail on the head there. When your legs don't get enough blood, it can affect everything. The muscles and tissues down there can weaken, and your heart has to work harder to pump blood through those narrowed arteries. It's like trying to force water through a kinked hose.
So more strain on the whole system.
Exactly. And that's why PAD is linked to a higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, even problems with thinking and memory in some cases.
Makes sense. But the good news is, if you catch this early on, you can do something about it, right?
Absolutely. It's all about lifestyle changes. Things like getting those legs moving, even if it's just gentle exercises or short walks. Elevating your feet when you're sitting, staying hydrated, maybe wearing compression socks.
All things that can help improve blood flow.
Yep. And watch the salt intake too. Too much sodium can make things worse.
So, bottom line for our listeners, if you've got that nagging itch on your lower legs and there's no clear skin issue, don't ignore it. It could be your body's way of saying, hey, pay attention to your circulation. All right, let's move up a bit. What about an itch in the upper or mid back?
Ah, the back. That one can be tricky because it's not always easy to reach, right?
Exactly. You might just think it's dry skin, a scratchy shirt tag, or just one of those aches and pains that come with age. But here's the thing. A recurring itch in that area, especially if it's persistent, might be telling us something about our internal filters.
Eye filters, you mean?
Our liver and kidneys, those amazing organs that work so hard to keep our blood clean and balanced.
No, that's interesting. Most people wouldn't connect a back itch with their liver or kidneys.
I know, right? But think about it this way. The liver and kidneys, they're like the body's waste management system. They filter out all the toxins and byproducts that build up in our blood. But if they're not working at their best, those waste products can start to accumulate.
And that's where the itch comes in.
Exactly. That buildup can irritate the nerve endings in our skin, especially in areas like the back where there's a whole network of nerves.
So like a little internal traffic jam causing a backup, and our skin feels it.
Precisely. To give you a visual, let's say we have Margaret. She's 78, super proactive about her health. She gets regular checkups, eats well, drinks plenty of water, no back itching for her. And we have Richard, also 78. Lately, he's been feeling tired, a little puffy around the eyes, and he's got this persistent itch across his upper back, mostly at night. He's tried all kinds of creams, but nothing seems to help.
Now with Richard, those extra symptoms, the fatigue, the puffiness, and the back itch that just won't quit even with lotions, well, it could point to his kidneys not working as well as they should.
Because they're not filtering out those waste products effectively.
Right. And the fact that those creams don't help, that's a big clue that it's not just a simple skin problem.
So it's not just about the itch itself. What are the wider implications of having a liver or kidneys that are struggling?
Oh, it can affect so many things. Digestion, sleep, energy levels, even your mental sharpness. When those organs aren't happy, the whole body feels it.
You mentioned the itch being worse at night. Any particular reason for that?
Well, during the day, we're usually busy and distracted, so we might not notice it as much. Plus, our body's natural rhythms can affect blood flow and how concentrated those waste products are in our blood. So when we're at rest, the itch might become more noticeable.
Fascinating. So what should someone do if they're dealing with this unexplained, stubborn back itch?
Don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor. A simple blood test can check how your liver and kidneys are functioning. And of course, there are lifestyle things you could do to support those organs. Staying hydrated, eating a healthy diet, limiting processed foods, alcohol, and salt.
All the good stuff we should be doing anyway.
Right. And it's also a good idea to review any medications you're taking with your doctor, just to make sure they're not adding to the problem.
Great advice. So, key message here. That persistent back itch, don't just brush it off. It could be your liver or kidneys trying to get your attention. Now, for our third itchy spot, let's head up to the scalp and neck. Another area where that itch might seem like no big deal at first.
Oh yeah, the scalp and neck. Dry skin, a reaction to shampoo. Maybe it's just part of getting older. But what if there's more to the story?
You're thinking stress and nerves.
Exactly. You see, the scalp and neck are packed with nerve endings. And these nerves, well, they can get pretty reactive when we're stressed out.
Stress causing an itchy scalp. That's an interesting connection. How does that work exactly?
Well, when we're stressed, our nervous system goes into overdrive, right? And that can trigger all sorts of physical reactions, including itching. It's like your body's alarm system is going off, even if there's no real danger. And sometimes stress could make existing skin conditions worse, too.
Okay, so it's not just in our heads. It's literally manifesting in our skin.
Exactly. Let's compare two people in their late 60s, shall we? We have Samuel, who's got an active social life, loves his hobbies, and he's really good at managing stress. Meditation, nature walks, you name it. He rarely gets itchy scalp or neck. Then there's Carol. She's been going through a lot of changes, finding it hard to relax, always feeling tense. And over the past few months, she's developed this constant itchy scalp, even though there's no dandruff or irritation. She's tried switching shampoos, but nothing helps.
So Samuel's got his chill on, while Carol's, well, not so much.
And that persistent scalp itch, it could be her body's way of saying, hey, the stress is getting to me. As we age, our bodies sometimes have a harder time bouncing back from stress. So that low-grade chronic stress, it can lead to inflammation throughout the body and weaken the immune system.
And that can show up in our skin, like with Carol's itchy scalp.
Exactly. While an itchy scalp or neck by itself doesn't necessarily mean something serious is going on, it's definitely a sign that it's time to address that underlying stress.
Stress management is so important no matter what age you are.
Couldn't agree more. So if you're dealing with this kind of persistent itch, what can you do? Well, find those things that help you unwind. Deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature, connecting with friends, maybe taking up a relaxing hobby. You know, Carol, she started doing a short mindfulness practice every day and making an effort to see her friends more often.
And did it help?
She said the itching gradually started to improve. It just goes to show how interconnected our mental and physical well-being really are.
Absolutely. So another takeaway for our listeners, if you've got that stubborn scalp or neck itch, and it's not because of a skin condition, it might be time to check in with yourself. See if there's something going on emotionally or mentally that needs your attention. All right, we've covered 3 itchy spots. Now for the grand finale, the one we said was super important, and that's an itch on the chest or abdomen.
Ah, yes, the torso. Another one that might seem pretty ordinary at first glance. Dry skin, maybe a little irritation. But for folks in their later years, a persistent itch in this area, it can sometimes signal something deeper.
Deeper.
Nutritional deficiencies. Or problems with how the body is absorbing nutrients.
Wait, you're saying an itch on my chest or belly could mean I'm not getting the right nutrients?
It's a possibility, especially as we get older. You see, when our bodies don't get enough of those essential vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats, or if our digestive system isn't absorbing them properly, it can throw a wrench in a lot of things.
Like your skin health.
Exactly. And our nerves, too. Picture 2 people, both in their early 80s. We have Helen, who's all about that healthy diet. Lots of fruits, veggies, lean protein, no chest or abdomen itching for her. Then there's George. He lives alone, hasn't been cooking as much, and tends to eat whatever's easy. He's developed this constant itching across his chest and belly. Sometimes it feels dry, too. He's tried lotions, but the itch keeps coming back.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Helen's nourishing her body. Well, George. Well, maybe not so much.
And that persistent itching, it could be a sign that his body is crying out for those essential nutrients. As we age, our digestive system can become less efficient at absorbing certain things, like B vitamins, essential fatty acids, some minerals.
And when we don't get enough of those, our skin can get itchy, especially on the torso because it's got so many nerve endings and blood vessels.
Right. And remember, those nutritional gaps can affect more than just our skin. They can zap our energy, weaken our muscles, mess with our immune system, even impact our brain function over time.
And the scary part is, you might not even realize it's happening because you don't necessarily lose a lot of weight.
Exactly. It can be sneaky.
Yeah.
But the good news is, it's often fixable.
Like simply eating better.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Adding more nutrient-rich foods to your diet, things like nuts, seeds, eggs, colorful fruits and veggies, can make a huge difference. And if someone's really struggling to eat a balanced diet, their doctor might recommend a good quality multivitamin.
So that persistent chest or belly itch, it's like a wake-up call to start prioritizing those nutrient-packed foods. All right, let's do a quick recap of the 4 itchy spots we've talked about today and what they might be trying to tell us. Lower legs, it could be a circulation issue. Back, we're looking at liver and kidney health. Scalp and neck, think stress and nerves. And chest or abdomen, it might be time to check your nutrition.
It's amazing, isn't it? Our bodies are constantly communicating with us, even through these little, seemingly insignificant itches. It's like they're sending us these gentle reminders to pay attention.
And it's not about freaking out, it's about being proactive. These signs, they're not a guarantee of something bad happening. They're more like an invitation to tune in, to listen to what our bodies are trying to tell us, and to take steps to support our health.
And those steps don't have to be huge, overwhelming changes. Just small, manageable tweaks to our daily routines. Move a little more, eat a little better, make time for rest and relaxation, nurture those social connections. It all adds up.
So folks, next time you get that persistent, unexplained itch, no matter where it is, don't just dismiss it. It could be your body trying to start a conversation with you about your health.
Because at the end of the day, we don't just want to live longer. We want to live those extra years feeling good, feeling sharp, feeling independent, and enjoying life to the fullest. And paying attention to those early signals from our bodies is a big part of making that happen.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that's a wrap for this deep dive. Huge thanks to all of you for joining us. We always love hearing your thoughts, so feel free to share your comments below. What resonated with you most today? And if you found this info helpful, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with anyone who you think might benefit. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you these deep dives.
Until next time, be well, everyone.
See you in the next episode.